last week, Scott had to be reminded who chose Josh Allen. This week, Chris and I are going to try to keep him paying attention. Let's get right into it. Scott, Chris, you two cannot seem to stop squabbling about Travis Kelce at 101, and we can't help but continuously poke fun at you, Scott, for seemingly forgetting who chose to pick who within 2 rounds. So today, I challenge to you, sir. Remember that you gave the okay. Where would you?
Right, I didn't choose him. I signed off on it, and then I forgot I signed off on it. There's a big difference.
I, of course, am your host, Thomas Tipple, FF. Joining me as always is Scott Barrett.
It also wasn't a ringing endorsement. I think my exact words were, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah, that counts.
In my
sir, either way, off and running for a new draft today, our last in this tournament. You mentioned that before, Chris. Surprising how fast it filled up, but I'm excited. You're excited. The people watching, all excited to get going again. Chris, where would you like to start with the new kind of surprising ADP shifts from what we saw last week?
Yes, there's been a couple big movers. The one that stands out to me the most is Samaje Perine jumping nearly 10, 15 spots. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are starting to buy into Javonte not being at full strength right away and even missing time and start the season. And then even then, what is Perine's role following that? I mean, I think he was definitely probably going a little bit later than where he should be. I mean, he provided value last year as a handcuff RB that also played a good amount of third downs. And it's hard to argue that his situation didn't get better than when he was in Cincinnati with Denver.
Yeah, the P line is a very good line to assess where backup running backs are going right now. You want players, you want to draft backup running backs over these wide receivers that are under what we call the P line for when it's appropriate to take backup running backs. He is very surprising. Scott, what do you see from this week to last week that kind of stands out to you that you may want to challenge here?
Yeah, I really like Samaje Perine. I think he's an awesome basketball pick. Matthew Berry said he's hearing that Denver is really worried about Javonte Williams. There's a chance he misses the entire season. The injury is way worse than they let on. Samaje said the reason why he signed with Denver is because Sean Payton sat him down and said he's a 2-back guy. He wants his two running backs heavily involved. Samaje is also interesting. Like he leaves behind Joe Mixon for the second time. They were teammates at Oklahoma in college, where Samaje was the workhorse. He had like 100 more carries than Mixon in the 2 years they were there, but Mixon had like twice as many targets. So it was weird when it was the opposite in Cincy, where Mixon was the workhorse and Samaje was getting all this passing down work. And yeah, so it's like, could he be there, pre Alvin Kamara? It was Darren Sproles and a few other of those pass catcher types. Could he be that? Maybe. Or is he their Mark Ingram? I don't know. But anyway, in best ball, I think he's a great pick. Outside of that, movers I wanted to talk about, I guess just my guy Elijah Moore, hashtag free Elijah Moore. I've been shouting that, and he's free. So what else is there? At the very least, you're going to get a ton of spike weeks in best ball because Amari Cooper can't play on the road, and those are Elijah weeks.
Yeah, so he's past guys like Juju, Darnell Mooney, KJ Osborne, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then approaching wide receivers like Jacoby Myers.
Right, all those guys suck, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could still get even higher than where he's going.
Right,
and that's
why does Amari Cooper suck on the road? I have no idea. I just assume like he's just cheating on his wife like crazy. There's no other explanation for that except for like insane variance.
It's a strong accusation.
Or you're just at the strip club until 5 a.m. every road Saturday.
Maybe he's just, staying up too late reading a nice, wholesome novel, Scott.
Really
novel
Why
is
does
he
he
reading?
have to be out
Yeah.
in degeneracy?
What novel? What is gripping enough where you're averaging 8 fewer fantasy points per game every time you're on the road?
I think Toronto Dave has it. The James Harden strip club corollary is definitely possible. I mean, but Amari Cooper played that game in Detroit, and wouldn't you know it, he still balled out. So there's a little.
Well, everyone knows
speculative,
Detroit
but-
has the worst strip clubs on the planet.
Oh, fair enough. You know what? I think that's. I'm not going to totally agree with you, but you have something there. Other than that, I mean, Kareem Hunt, he seems to be on the move right now. I don't know why Nico Collins is still on the move. We just stopped drafting Nico Collins. He's just awful and terrible.
People love Nico Collins.
The Nico Collins hive, I don't know what's stronger, if it's the Donovan Peoples-Jones hive or it's the Nico Collins hive, but there are people out there that still believe that Elijah Moore going to Cleveland is good news for Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's absolutely insane. Well, that's a great little kickoff to the day. Chris, why don't you get us fired up into a draft? We're going to take a quick little break here. When we come back, it will be draft time. Can't wait. Let's go. Okay, here we are. We're getting ready for our draft. Can't wait to see where we get the pick from. Maybe we get Scott's vaunted 101. Maybe.
We don't.
See where we're going to end up here. Where would you guys like to end up today? If you could choose, Scott, I'm not going to ask Scott because he's going to say 101. Chris, where would you like?
I don't think I can handle a Travis Kelce debate right now.
Oh, I love it. Live? Let's go.
We have to. We have to. There was like a 13 tweet exchange between Chris and I. Chris was on team Kelce 101, and then seemingly out of nowhere, he hates that take, and he's coming at my throat. What's going on, Chris?
I started doing some digging, and maybe I'll have to write something up or something.
You have to. You need some more research, I think.
Yeah. So I started playing around with simulating. All right, like if you just take 3 tight ends of pick 84, so round 8 or later, like can you get even close to Kelce's production? So Kelce scored 213 half PPR points from weeks 1 through 14, so the regular season in best ball last year. So I basically took a handful, I think it's like 25-ish tight ends that were drafted round 8 or later, and basically simulated it 1,000 times, picking 3 at random. And the average outcome, it's a little bit of a spread, is kind of in the 150 to 175 point range. There is outcomes on the tail end where you do get to the Kelce range. So not shocking that the average outcome is not Kelce. That is not the argument here.
Is that including flex production, or no? Just tight end?
No, just tight end. Assuming you're only playing one tight end every
right,
week.
and that's 3 positions versus 1, right? Like
right. Well, so that's the argument is you can kind of make up Kelce tight end production with 3 later round guys, and then get this super high ceiling at wide receiver, running back.
But what round did you take tight end 2, tight end 3? Because part of my argument is those are now wide receivers.
So I just strictly wanted to see if we could, if you can match tight end production with Kelce production. So round 8 or later, 3 tight ends, because generally that's what people were doing. If you're not taking Kelce, you're taking 3 late round guys. Maybe excluding the other elite tight ends too, because if you include them, they'll obviously get closer to Kelce production.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But they don't cost as much as Kelce, so there's a difference. But then I ran it again, doing it with using Justin Jefferson as an example, since he was going 101, 102 last year, and this year he's basically in the same range. He had about 243 half PPR points, and there's basically just no tail, even a tail outcome of taking 3 wide receivers round 8 or later that comes close to matching that production. So I just don't think you can kind of make up the difference if you hit on the elite wide receiver or running back, whatever position it is, early.
I think it's 5 wide receivers though. That's the thing, is because you take Kelce, you don't need a tight end 3, and you probably don't need a tight end 2. And so if you're contrasting it, to me, it's Kelce. It's 5 wide receivers round 8 or later versus 3 when
So
contrasting with
I
Jefferson.
thought you might say that. So
Okay.
I
Oh shit!
I wanted to see.
Keep in mind, we are up next.
Oh yeah, we are. Oh,
102. You can take
103.
whoever you want, Chris.
We are at
That'd
103
nice.
here.
Let's
Also, if you're
But if it's not Travis Kelce, you're fired.
that's
No,
either.
just kidding.
All right, good. I was
There
gonna
we
say,
go.
we haven't done a CMC draft yet. I think that would be interesting.
Why is CMC over Eckler? No, I'm just messing with you.
so does,
I don't know. I mean,
Chris turned to the camera like there was like he's like, what are you talking?
I just wanted to say one thing on Kelce, then I'll let you dismantle whatever argument. So in 2020, I ran these numbers, and in a best ball format, if treated as one player, ignoring flex production, the tight end 3, the tight end 4, and the tight end 5 combined for 259 full PPR points. Travis Kelce by himself scored 315. So 55 additional points versus the number 3, number 4, and number 5. So remember, that's in a best ball format. So you take the highest score of the 3 every single week. And that was just crazy to me. And so the argument I distilled, what our back and forth to me distilled as I was saying the oligarch tight ends hoard spike weeks at the position to such a degree that the scarcity of a premium wide receiver is more valuable. I think we're saying the opposite, but for a wide receiver. And it's just the data I've looked at over the past 4 years is an oligarch like Kelce's production is more valuable than a wide receiver 1, which, by the way, it's no guarantee that Jefferson's going to be the wide receiver 1 this year. I think it's basically a guarantee Kelce is the tight end 1 this year. And I think that's something to factor in as well. But also, just looking at last year's production, I think is a little weird, because last year was a weird year where TJ Hawkinson and Evan Ingram both had 5 combined games with over 30 half-point PPR points, when historically you get that from Kelce, Andrews, a little bit of Kittle, a little bit of Waller, and then no one else ever.
Sure. Yeah. All of this has the small sample issue. We just don't know. Draft, and we're not going to know for a few years, because the way best ball is being drafted is so different since Underdog's basically been around, and especially the past 2 years. So I mean, yeah, we're going to learn more every year in terms of how all this stuff makes sense. But so I ran the simulations again as if you could have 5 late round wide receivers instead of taking Jefferson. So basically, you get 5 extra players for 1, and still there's a small sliver of a tail outcome that just matches Jefferson's production. So you get 5 chances every week with a late round tight end, and more often than not, you're still coming up 70, 80 points short of what a 1 Jefferson would give you. The wide receivers just score so much than the tight end position in general, and you need at least 3 of them and probably 4 of them on your roster.
For what?
Because you got to fill 3 wide receiver positions in a flex that generally is going to be a wide receiver.
Yeah, I know, but my argument with Kelce is you're drafting 9 wide receivers.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I'm telling you that adding on more and more of them is not even helping you get close to that elite wide receiver production.
I mean, to be fair, I do think a lot of that is just last year was unique, where the Ingram and Hawkinson spike weeks, but there weren't many late round wide receiver gems like I feel like historically there have been.
Yeah, I think the draft terms are just getting smaller. I mean, I'm betting on that. I mean, it could be wrong, right. It could, but I just think people are getting, because best ball is a year-round thing now, people are just getting smarter with not letting the Amon-Ra's, the Odells, Antonio Browns, and whatnot.
Should I just hit the on the clock button that I have right here? Is that? I think I'm going to do that every time now.
What do you think of DK here, or do you want to go Breece Hall?
Don't want Breece. Definitely do not want Breece.
All right, we'll go with DK then.
I also don't want DK.
You all right? Well. All right, I'll give you
long on that one.
I'll give you the next pick. You get the next.
I just can't ever draft DK when Tyler Lockett is 8 rounds cheaper, and he
that is good argument. But we could also just build a Seattle stack now.
I'm already like, I want to disown this team. This is a Chris Wecht team. I'll when we win a milli with it, like I'll split it with you. But
Is it like
other than that,
70-30
it's
now
not-
if it's a
I have
Chris
no
team?
association.
We're about to get buried at wide receiver. That's the scary part.
I know you talked about how important a premium wide receiver is, and then we had the 102, and you take a running back.
Well, yeah, I think running backs are also important. There's just, other than CMC, and I mean, he's the only one that like really feels great. And then you got Eckler and JT. Eckler's probably also.
I mean, we talked so much about Jefferson versus Kelce at the 101, but historically, running back in the first round is like optimal for ceiling. And
yeah, I just really like, at least so far this year, I really like that round 2, 3. Like Tony Pollard here, like seems awesome to me. Nick Chubb here seems totally fine to me.
I mean, Pollard seems fine, but when they draft Bijan,
yeah.
Dallas is not drafting Bijan.
All right, Scott, what do you want to do here? Running
second
back,
wide receiver.
Debo, Hopkins, Cooper.
Yikes,
Ridley.
dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like you. So imagine now if you started tight end running back, you're buried.
Fuck. I don't know. Whoever you want. This is a Chris Wecht team. I disowned it.
Oh no. We just thought now. All right.
Oh my goodness.
This is not good. This is not good for our last big board draft.
I know this could be fun. Now we're all in on upside, and
Okay.
we're having fun. We're getting silly. But this is a Chris Wecht team.
until it wins, and then it'll be a Scott Barrett team.
That's right. When I retell this story, it was going to be like I was pounding the table for Derrick Henry and
Derrick Henry was the guy I wanted the whole time.
I said wide receivers are worthless.
Okay, from now on, when you hear this,
oh,
it is time to start focusing on picks. I'm gonna hit it early. That way I can cut you guys off, and that way that is the new alert for when it's pick time. Let's go.
We're a little sloppy today, I gotta say.
What's up, Fantasy Football Hustle? Look at these handsome maniacs. Shout out to you. We have Dan Brown here as well. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you. Omega finally made it in. Let's dance. Omega, if you're in this draft. Oh, he is. Be careful, guys. Omega King is in the chat. And again, shout out Toronto Dave for always being around. We love y'all. If you're in here, let us know what's up. And now, Omega, you never should have let me know. Now we know who's listening. It'll be 3 straight shows that someone from the chat has tried to snipe us now.
I'll trade teams with Omega right now if he's interested.
That is a hot start, Omega. That's a very good start.
The Justin Fields pick in round 3. What do you think of that, Scott?
I think
so. That's before Joe Burrow. For example.
I think that's early. The question I would want to throw back to you is how much are Justin Fields' raw points worth versus a Joe Burrow or a Justin Herbert who's easier to stack, or at least there's more upside for the stack as a whole.
Yeah, because I mean, stacking is definitely important. We've seen 2 years in a row now, teams that have some kind of a stack tend to do better. Justin Fields has much better stacking options than he did last year, but they likely aren't correlated to Justin Fields being awesome because we want him running as much as possible. Yeah, I don't know. I probably would rather take a Herbert or a Burrow I've seen Burrow fall into the 5th round sometimes. Like that sounds pretty good to me. Herbert later than that also probably sounds better than Fields. But the upside is there. Yeah, and then so he's stacking him. He's building a bear stack, taking DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for him.
So I don't love that. I just think that's really early on both of those guys. But hey, you never know.
Omega getting the affirmation by Toronto Dave. Toronto Dave, we're super sharp, okay? Like let's wheel it back in here.
This is random. I was in Uber once, and my driver didn't speak English and he was bumping some Spanish rap music. That was awesome. The rapper's name was Omega, and he like Omega. And I don't know the song Shazammed it. I still listen to it.
It's on the
Awesome song.
playlist.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, maybe we can play it for the folks at home.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're coming up here.
Check out Omega. If you like Spanish rap music, check out Omega.
So
Might as well consider it on the clock.
I feel like we have to
Keenan
go-
Allen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we have to go wide receiver here, and I'm very fine with Keenan Allen here.
Is there a way to search inside your playlist song? No.
You mean like on Spotify?
Yeah.
Or like the search bar?
Yeah, but inside of my own playlist.
You can just search the whole thing and it'll just find it individually with like outside of your playlist.
No, I want to see my playlist.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we have for people at home, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen.
We don't have this. Chris has this.
Well, technically you just contributed by saying Keenan Allen. So you are now a part of this, whether you want to, believe it or not.
Yeah, maybe my picks can make up for Chris's picks. Like
We're
our
gonna-
first
we're
three
gonna
picks
fix
combined
this.
for
We're gonna
0,
fix
but we
this.
still
Look.
somehow win it all.
We take Tyler Lockett here now. We build out a Seattle stack.
Oh hell yeah, a Drew Lock stack.
Oh no.
No one's gonna have it. A Drew Lock dub stack for all the money.
I think I should hit the note button for every time Scott recommends an absolutely awful quarterback. I think that might get implemented. No, you're gonna not do that.
All right, so we're building out a Seattle stack. I mean, Herbert's not going to make it back to us, but that's okay. Where does Geno go these days? Way late. Don't have to worry about that. So we're good at running back for a while. I guess we're doing late round tight end at this point and try to fill out with some more higher upside receivers. Did you guys see the report that Ayuk might be on the block?
Oh, that's
No.
interesting.
I think everyone's on the block right now. Like,
I mean-
Judy's on the block. Ayuk's on the block.
If there's not an NFL team making that phone call, if he's actually is on the block, they're nuts.
I feel like NFL teams are just becoming like dynasty managers where like this time of year they'll throw every player on the block to try to get draft picks. Like I just feel like it's kind of turning into that right now. NRL.
It's
Kind
it's
of
just
insane.
it's just as that the generation that played Madden and fantasy football starts to get into some of these GM and front office positions.
That's exactly what it is. 100% what it is.
I think that's the earliest I've seen Jahmyr Gibbs go in the 5th round.
So let's lean into upside here, Chris. What are some ways you can lean into upside with this sort of roster construction? I'm thinking really wait on tight ends and just hope you get this year's version of Gronk 2 years ago, Engram last year, Cole Kmet last year,
Piece together
Buffalo
your
tight end 2 years ago, Robert
I
Tonyan
mean,
ago.
I think this is one of the best years to do it, solely a lot because of the rookie class that's coming in. Like I know rookie tight ends typically don't put up numbers, but we also have not seen a rookie class at tight end like this as far back as I can remember. I mean, there's been years where there's elite guys, but it's usually one guy at most, like when Kyle Pitts came out. But you could theoretically, I probably wouldn't do this, but if you took the three, like your three favorite of the big rookie tight ends, you probably aren't like totally dead by that, which is not something you would probably ever say before then. But yeah, we definitely need to fill out the wide receivers more. We're basically assuming that McCaffrey and Derrick Henry are filling out our running back spots basically every week.
That really might not be bad. It's,
Right.
Derrick Henry, who's a half-point PPR monster. Christian McCaffrey, who's the RB1.
Yeah, it's really not as crazy as you think. Like both of these guys have crushed.
And you need to treat these tournament best balls like you would a GPP, right?
Yeah, you're. I mean, it's a little different because basically the same pool of players is being drafted. It's not like, in a GPP you can pick, oh, I'm going to play a 1% owned guy. That's not quite how this works, but different combinations and stuff, sure. But I think the biggest thing is just drafting as if you're right. So like right now we're assuming McCaffrey and Henry stay perfectly healthy all year and are two top 5 backs at the position. All right, we're up here. There's not Deontay Johnson or Jahan Dotson. We have to reach a little bit for that.
I know who we definitely shouldn't take.
Yeah.
Treylon Burks, bum ass.
Yeah, I was not looking at that name.
Is Darren Waller intriguing? We've been talking a lot.
Let's take Deontay Johnson because targets are earned. Hashtag targets are earned.
Targets are earned. Scampers, good evening. He says Dulcich and Kincaid. And also
Waller.
Good evening.
Waller would not be bad here on our way back.
I would love Darren Waller. He's like the most mispriced player to me right now. He's the best counter argument against Kelce.
I'll give you that. He definitely. I have zero issues with counting him as like an elite tight end that is very fairly priced right now.
He's the best receiver Daniel Jones has ever had, easily.
All right, let's take it easy on Kadarius Toney. Okay, let's just.
He played 15 snaps. All right.
Yeah, I don't. Me, Scott.
Where is Dalvin Cook? Because
he went
again.
Because we've taken him every single draft where it's like round 8, and we're like, what the fuck? Dalvin Cook is here? Hell yeah! So this time I wanted to be proactive about it and at least know it was coming. It's funny, the ETR guys. I think Adam Levitan tweeted out, went out of his way to tweet out how he didn't like Dalvin Cook's ADP. I'm like, what? It's like the dumbest ADP because he might go somewhere and might not be a bell cow. It's like, who gives a shit?
Whoever would trade for him, likely would have intentions of using him at least similar to what his Vikings workload is. Like, why else would they do it?
Right.
Although the Niners gave up a ton of capital for McCaffrey last year and then still worked in Elijah Mitchell more than probably people expected. So,
way more. They saw his first game where he absolutely just went berserk, and people had claimed him like the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And then Elijah Mitchell came to town, and you're right. It looked like a timeshare there for a while. It was almost touchdown dependent. It was disgusting. Any fear of that with your Christian McCaffrey pick in the first round here, Chris? Is there any actual fear? Because Elijah Mitchell is hashtag good at football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
I need to look into that again.
Yeah.
But because he just joined the team, and then take some time to learn the playbook or whatever. But there definitely were some games where it looked bad. What do you think, Chris?
He's a guy that I don't want to be. I probably won't be super overweight on him relative to those other top 5-ish picks, but I definitely don't want zero exposure to him because he could just run away at the running back position from every other running back that's drafted.
I will just say, I talked to some of my PFF film bros who all said CMC definitely has lost a step. He's not the same explosive player he was a few years ago.
Fair. Yeah.
They also said the same thing about Saquon Barkley, who he doesn't have the same home run speed, not even close.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just the Shanahan's going to use him in he doesn't need to be his absolute perfect, optimal self to still crush the running back position just because of the way Shanahan will use him.
I think that's fair too. I think a lot of it will come down to what he gets in receptions as well, like which quarterback is out there. I think that's really going to matter too. I think best case scenario is Trey Lance isn't out there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
risk of him not dumping it off.
How what's the level? All right, if 100% is CMC is a top 5 running back, what percent of the three quarterbacks, Darnold, Purdy, and Lance, gets like, what's the percent chance that one of those QBs gets him there? What do you think?
If you're asking me, it would be it's highest with probably Purdy. I would go Darnold 2 and Trey Lance 3. Just from
Is
what
it-
we know about scrambling QBs or ones that run or can sap touchdowns away at the goal line and what they do to pass catching running backs. I think that it's pretty set in stone.
What do you guys think of Daniel Jones here, stacked with Waller?
I love it.
It's a great pick. QB.
Graham and I were talking about this yesterday. It's the best supporting cast of his career by far, including Duke, where he had nothing. Best offensive line, best receiving core by far, and it's another year with Brian Daboll, the GOAT. I mean, look at the leaps that Josh Allen took under Brian Daboll, and the step back he took last year, and now Daniel Jones. Another year in the system, and who is he but a discount Josh Allen? So I'm a big.
Oh,
He might be my Justin Fields this year. Although
Vanilla Vic getting the praise from Scott Barrett. We love that.
He's
of course,
probably
we
not my
are.
Justin Fields this year. That's probably Anthony Richardson. I mean, Jordan Love too, just like at price, but he's definitely feels safe.
As a reminder,
what about Zay Flowers? Like, we feel pretty good that the Giants draft a receiver. I've seen Zay Flowers mocked to them a good chunk.
I mean, we didn't love our start, so let's lean into upside. I'd say Michael Thomas, right? If he stays healthy, he's what?
they just said that he's still not 100% healthy.
Yeah,
Like,
all
they
right.
just
I'm
said
out
it.
on Michael Thomas.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't want Zay Flowers. I don't think he's any.
All right,
I don't
well,
think he's
all
very
right.
good.
All right,
Darnell
fine,
Mooney.
we'll take Thomas for the upside play.
I'm gonna suggest a Kamara.
Who said he's not?
Herbert,
He's still not healthy.
their coach, Allen, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Also, shout out Ryan.
I want to say that the Saints, like, they must know he'll be okay, but they also pay Taysom Hill a ridiculous amount of money, so I can't just assume that the Saints organization does smart things personnel wise of like keeping him on the roster.
Ryan, I may not know you too well now, but keep coming back, and I'll get to know you. Don't worry, we got you.
I do love that draft noise.
The draft pick noise gets me hyped. Dave, that's just the beginning, baby boy. That's just the beginning. Just wait until Scott mentions Kenny Pickett. All right, let's just wait.
Oh boy,
It's coming later. I know he can't resist. He's gonna say it. Give it a couple rounds. Okay, so Chris, why don't we have a look at what the team is right now so we can kind of regroup?
So Daniel Jones at QB, McCaffrey and Derrick Henry at running back, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Lockett, Deontay Johnson, Michael Thomas at receiver, and Darren Waller at tight end.
2019, this team goes crazy.
It's true. We probably win everything.
This is a 2019 dream team. I love it.
I think we have turned this around pretty good since that Henry pick. I don't mind this team at all.
I mean, there's so much more upside and value in zagging when everyone else is zigging. So maybe this is a great year to go to draft some running backs early. Right? That's where the value appears to be because everyone just wants wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry at pick 27 is not like, I was totally out last year when he was, what was he, back of the first round, right? If I
He's at the
remember.
1-2 turn, yeah.
Yeah, like I was totally out at that pick. Didn't look great for a little while there.
So
And
sorry, I was
and
gonna
then,
say. So
yeah.
looking ahead at the team. Well, you know what? I'll wait until Omega picks. I'm not going to say nothing. I see you there, Omega. I know you're coming up. Just looking at
Omega.
the players in this range are absolutely gross. They're kind of gross. They're like in between like good upside and just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I feel like this range will. I mean,
There's Geno Smith for that stack.
yeah.
See, why like Omega's right there. Okay, Omega went Friarmuth, thankfully. Oh my goodness.
There's
Thank
no
you.
reason somebody should take Geno ahead of like Aaron Rodgers if they are going to go QB.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, what if you have the stack though?
Yeah, even then.
we have Lockett and DK. Or no, we do. Yeah, we do have
Yeah.
Lockett and DK.
So there's the reason.
So I think we should push it a little. We should
Right,
see
you're
if
right.
we
You're right. You're right.
we're gonna like
Well,
put
hey,
the,
we can get Alan Lazard and then
Oh,
where's Elijah? We talked about Elijah.
he was right before that last pick we did, the Michael Thomas pick, I think. Or
People like this team now.
yeah.
A lot of
yeah,
people
team
saying
is looking crisp. You know what? Sluter 1. Hopefully I got that right. So
Sluter 1.
crisp. Toronto Dave agrees. Omega. I love the Seattle build in the draft area, y'all are. And sniping someone else's stack only hurts your own team. Omega, smart man. No spite sniping from you. We love that. Smart drafter. Omega. We love
All right.
that.
So there's no running backs here that really interest me. Receiver's not great either.
Shout out Canadian
And we
Palmer.
want to push the Geno Smith pick.
What about Damian Harris in Buffalo?
That's the one that's jumping out to me. I mean, it is. We are reaching a little bit, but he's a guy I think or Samaje that we talked about.
I think both are good picks.
All right, taking Samaje.
That's one for the P line right there.
So do we push Geno a whole nother round, or do we take him here? Because when we come back around, it'll be pick 142. He's got an ADP of 121. So that would be 20 picks after ADP. Let's see. There's not a lot of QBs off the board, so somebody may just take him to take him.
I think Geno makes the most sense here, but other than that, you're kind of naked stacking everything else.
Yeah, I agree. I think
That's
we just take
disgusting.
him here. I don't think an extra round on Geno's, 11th round ADP is that valuable. Nice.
I think that's
Trey Lance is going to be a nice value.
He
Like
is.
an upside play.
Yes, he definitely will. I actually thought about before we took Daniel Jones and then we're planning on taking Geno. I thought could take Lance and do a kind of a little bit of a different San Francisco stack.
Hmm.
I mean, if he makes it all the way back around to us, it's not a bad idea, but I doubt he does. Although he's already 20 picks past ADP. Nobody wants Trey Lance in this draft. Where's the Debo and the Ayuk team?
Well, it's all that Brock Purdy talk from the coaching staff.
Scott, have you ever been in a draft where you ruined somebody else's stack out of spite?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that. Have you?
No.
Oh, okay. I feel like I would have to know them personally. Even then, I don't think it's worth it.
I've seen you get pretty angry at some of these other teams. I didn't know if maybe sometimes somebody just really got to you.
I mean, it's just good content. I'm not really no hard feelings, unless of course someone snipes me on Kenny Pickett. Then I'm losing my mind.
Nope.
Oh, whose voice is that?
It's just one of the samples I found for you, just specifically for you, because I know you couldn't resist. There you go, Trey Lance off the board right there
with the Kittle team. That makes sense.
The awesome thing about Seattle and Geno Smith being good is Danny and I kept talking. Danny Kelly and I kept talking about how there was like a 20% chance or better that Russell Wilson was going to suck in Denver and Pete Carroll, wouldn't let him cook for a reason. And he was the true mastermind, and how it wasn't priced at all into ADP. And then it happened. And that was crazy. I mean, I didn't see it coming, but 20.
Nobody saw it coming.
20%. Higher, better than ADP.
Wow, Chig Okonkwo off the board in the round 12.
I like that pick personally.
He's a rich man's Treylon Burks.
Louise.
The shade on.
I know. I just love
catching.
these guys catching strays. I'm just
All right, I
love
think our
talking
pick
shit on random
is
players.
pretty obvious.
Are they
here.
strays when you direct it right at them, though? I don't know.
I guess not. Yeah, it was intentional.
His team doesn't even want Trey Lance.
That's
or
right.
Scampers. Do you think? Sorry,
imagine if Kyle Shanahan could go back in time and take Kyle Pitts and then
Just Mac
Brock Purdy
Jones.
the next year and just give him the most insane supporting cast of all time.
That would be nice. Wandale here with Daniel Jones and Darren Waller. I feel like that makes sense.
I mean, fire it up for me. I mean, obviously. Let's go.
The only thing I worry about is why does this team have fucking 9 slot wide receivers? 0 outside wide receivers.
Well, I mean, luckily,
it's better to line up in the slot, isn't it?
I mean, there's some redundancy there, don't you think?
Well, luckily,
The
it's not like we have to
underdog-
play them on a rotation in best ball.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't have to take one off the roster if one guy plays, 75% of the slot routes.
Scott's out here making depth chart decisions.
Now, what if Underdog did one day add a slot roster spot that could only be filled?
That would be fun as hell. I'd like that.
All right, what do you want to do at this pick here? We could take a third QB like Jordan Love. Kyler's there. Kareem Hunt, Raheem Mostert.
I guess there's upside for Kareem Hunt, or Zeke.
Yeah, or Zeke. Boy.
I mean, if you want to say these stink, that's fine. But
you know what? Let's just continue to build out the 2019 best ball team.
Hell yeah. I mean, why is Samaje going higher than Zeke and Kareem? I think there's like upside in them landing with a Cincy or a Buffalo or Kansas City. Kareem back to KC? Who says no?
Kansas City. Like, most likely Kansas City says no.
They really do have to do something at running back.
They're just going to bring back Jet. There's no way they don't just bring back Jet. And just draft another, like, 5th rounder or something with Pacheco. I think they'd be totally happy with that, honestly.
I mean, Pacheco is a prime example of a running back that everyone falls in love with, but has zero like investment from the team. Because I mean, in his case, he was he could easily be replaced by a number of backs in the draft, or like a Zeke signing or something.
Oh, 100%. It's just a smart franchise making smart money moves, knows that they don't have to invest in that position at this point.
Right. But if a guy they love falls to him in the draft in the second round or something, then that could easily happen.
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
Because Pacheco is not off the board yet. Or yes, he is. Seventh round, Pacheco does not feel good.
Before Dameon Pierce, David Montgomery.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Montgomery than
I think I'd rather have all of those backs over Pacheco. Like Montgomery, Akers, Penny, Mixon, Algier. I wouldn't want Javon.
Yeah. How did Mixon go? How did Mixon fall this late? And because we took Daniel Jones that round.
Right. Even like Charbonnet, Rashad White, I'd prefer. Like it's kind of crazy how high Pacheco is going. Also, Scamper says he wants a Trent Sherfield late stack. By the way, Chris. Just.
He landed in
Toronto Dave, Spark Score Jet, 100%. He was a monster.
Sherfield landed in what? Buffalo, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, we do love that. What about Isaiah Hodgins? I mean, if you really want to stack his best receiver.
I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't know if we need another giant on because they're going to run a lot of receivers out there, but we kind of want Daniel Jones also scoring with his legs. And Hodgins is the Pacheco version of like that we were just talking about. Like they draft Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison would not be a good I guess Quentin Johnston's really the only one that really fits because all the other guys are slot guys.
Okay.
But or maybe a second round receiver in A.T. Perry or what are some of the other second round guys?
How do we feel about a second tight end at this point?
I don't think it's really necessary.
I don't think we need to do it yet.
Okay, just checking. I just got to check for the people.
So
We are on the
A-Chain,
clock.
A-Chain's a guy that I'm not usually into, but he's 20 picks past ADP at this point.
I mean, he's a decent basketball guy, but I like Spears more. I just think
I do like
Yes,
Spears as well.
Twitter favorite.
I would just wait on running back. Like I think we don't need running back at all.
Sure.
10
We,
seconds.
we
But
spent
not
early draft
Nico
capital. We
Collins.
feel good about the late ones.
We take
I also
Tim
think there was a
Patrick a
fall
lot.
off from Zeke to
Thornton?
these guys.
How about Tyquan Thornton?
Yeah, I also love Tim Patrick.
We took Tim Patrick the past two, so I'm just trying to
All right, that's fine.
switch it up for us.
Get some new
Diversify.
exposure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a nice running back range here. But yeah, we definitely
I
don't
wouldn't
really
say
need.
that.
I mean,
I mean, just
in
the
the
top
50
two.
in the 50. I mean, Roshan, I like Roshan. It'll
Yes.
depend where he lands. I think Jalen Warren is a good pick, kind of like P. Ryan was last year. Like they're not going to add another running back to that group because of the investment in Najee. And if Najee does have an injury issue like Mixon did last year, Warren would be an awesome running back to have.
Cordero's not looking terrible either. Like he's still sliding so far for a guy who can have absolute boom games.
Is he on a team?
Yeah. They haven't released him.
What's his contract like?
I think he has 1 year at like 5 remaining. He can be let go, but I mean, at this point in the draft, you're going to take Leonard Fournette.
I think Cordarrelle Patterson is older than all of us.
That's definitely not true.
Let's see.
There's no way I'm the oldest person on this panel. Like, don't tell me that now.
He might be exactly my age. Let's see.
Oh no, am I the oldest person on this
How old
panel?
are you?
I'm 34.
Okay. Yeah, you are.
Son of a bitch!
Okay, I'm a year older than Cordarrelle Patterson. Okay, but
All right, we're up.
can you pick it? Let's go.
Nope.
Hodgins. I mean, here he's fallen way past ADP at this point.
Do you have any faith that he's a starting wide receiver on the team?
No,
I
but
don't.
I mean, it's not a non-zero chance.
Yeah, I would rather take like Chase Claypool, who the Bears spent almost a first round pick on.
A terrible trade, by the way.
That
Awful.
was horrible. No, I mean that's fine. Wasn't
Yeah,
who
we're just
yeah.
betting on the Giants offense being awesome.
It's also like when you see like insane ADP fallers, you just grab them
Right,
10 times
like,
out of
yeah.
10, even if you don't like them.
That was the thing. Yeah, Hodgins at our earlier pick didn't make a ton of sense to me, but way past ADP, we already have a Giant stack built out. Why not?
Well, before we have a question from Ryan that I want to get to, but before that, I just want to mention, guys, if you want to be like Omega and draft with us, you can head to underdogfantasy.com, use promo code FANTASYPTS, and they'll match your initial deposit up to $100. Go to Underdog Fantasy and join the online sensation before you get left in the dust. Do that and do it with us. We'll treat you well. Omega says I'm 33. TT is ancient. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way. Didn't know that. I'm the senior of this group here. So there you go.
TT, I think that's an emoji. I think that's a crying eyes emoji.
That's how I feel right now. Ryan, what is your opinion and or stats supporting it? What is the deepest a stack shouldn't be 4, 5, 6, 7 players from one team? That's a great question.
So I actually just was looking at these numbers. So in Best Ball Mania 2, bigger stacks were really strong. They did really well. In Best Ball Mania 3, they weren't as strong. They actually, let me check the exact numbers. So it was very team dependent in Best Ball Mania 3. So a 7 stacked Cincinnati team could work. You're probably not, that one's hard to do because of ADPs last year, but stacking 5, 6 Philly guys last year was awesome. Stacking 4 or 5 Washington Commanders players was not awesome last year. So it's really just team dependent. I think pretty much any team you can get to 4, no matter how bad they are. It might not work. It's probably not going to work out super well if you stack 4 Titans, but I think you could do it. And then if you're stacking 6 or 7, that you probably want to reserve that for, your Chiefs, your Eagles, your Bengals, the Jaguars would be another good one, stuff like that.
Malik Willis, an underrated late round QB3. I'll hang up and listen.
Oh my God.
Nope.
It's not terrible. I actually don't hate that call.
Nice. That's what I'm looking for. I actually don't hate that. On my
Tight
Galaxy
end.
brain plays.
Tight end we could do here. QB is also about to dry
Kenny
up.
Pickett, let's go. I mean,
Nope.
Tannehill easily has the most upside of anyone.
Baker?
I think we can wait
Possibly,
on
maybe?
Tannehill.
All right, click on tight end, please.
Likely Hurst,
Nope.
Kincaid,
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Hayden Hurst.
I like Hurst.
He'd score
Former-
some touchdowns, probably.
Former first-round pick.
All right, so
Nice
we're probably
person.
good at tight end with Waller and Hurst. We definitely do want to add another QB. Tannehill, yeah. Yeah, Tannehill's probably my favorite of that's left. I mean, Mac Jones would also be fine with me. We have Tyquan Thornton. That's not a bad stack. Would you rather have Mac Jones here or try to wait around and get Tannehill?
Yeah, I would definitely rather Tannehill, even
Okay.
in this round.
If Tannehill goes, would somebody like Sam Howell be in the mix with his known athleticism?
He's
Does he get a bump?
Tannehill's also a sneaky Derrick Henry snack. They're positively correlated.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Let's just.
I
take him
mean,
here.
one screen and it's house time. I mean, before he got hurt, he was being used more as a receiver, Derrick Henry. Like, he was really rolling.
All right, so we have 3 QBs that we're probably good there. 4 running backs, 8 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends, with one of them being Darren Waller. So we don't need another tight end. We could take one, but probably better to just add up at running back or receiver.
How many rounds are left?
We just made our 17th round pick, so 3 more picks.
With Abanaconda absolutely going off in his pro day, is he in consideration if he's still here at the next pick?
You an Izzy guy?
I was before, and yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You're off of him
Did you-
now after his pro day?
No, not at all.
340, 41 vertical, and a 10-8 broad jump at the
Yeah.
40. Athletic
Yeah.
scores off the chart.
He's too freakish. There's no way the body's gonna hold up.
You replied to Brett's tweet earlier, right? You saw that tweet? Yeah, I mean, there's very few running
mind.
backs.
He won't be, Omega said. So there Izzy's going here, folks.
Oh man, see?
Omega, you're killing us. Okay, then we have to go back to last week's strategy where we start talking about
No, he went
awful
Zach
players
Evans.
that we don't want. Oh, okay, that's worse, Omega.
So Kayshon Boutte was one of the guys that's really fallen in ADP recently. Scott, are you out on him from his terrible combine performance? I know some people are. He seems pretty, one side or the other that I've seen from people so far in the fantasy community.
Yeah, I'm probably out on him. Like, I get the upside argument given, his 5-star rating out of high school and his first 2 seasons, which were great. But he had like an Achilles thing that was underreported and then like double ankle surgery. And so when he was like 17 years old, he ran like a 4.3 40 and then he ran like a 4.50 at the combine. I just think those injuries, he's a different player now.
Brett Whitefield.
Brett says he stinks, so
He is
that's good enough for me.
Boutte, and I agree. Omega says he is huge Izzy Stan in this tournament, yet you took Zach Evans. I just don't. Your actions are speaking louder than your words, Omega.
Unless
I
he
don't know
takes
if you
him
can
here.
be trusted. What's the play here? What are we looking at? Terrace Marshall, wide receiver 1?
No. No.
There goes Izzy.
Oh, he did end up getting him.
Is this finally CEH season?
No. Oh God.
I don't think it, I mean, come like in round 18 plus, like what is the downside?
I mean, yeah,
He's gonna be
I
on the
still don't love
team.
it.
I mean, I'd probably rather James Robinson backing up Stevenson, honestly. He's just been better.
Yeah, there's a chance he's Damian Harris.
What about like I haven't heard much about Jerome Ford. So he's basically
Oh, he's a great pick.
He's basically the Kareem Hunt replacement.
Right. Imagine Nick Chubb goes down. He's a potential league winner, and then even if not, what if he gets Kareem Hunt like usage?
Yeah, he can catch the ball for sure. I was a little surprised he went undrafted last year.
Yeah,
I
same.
think. Yeah. We could take him and be done at running back, unless there's another guy we really like later. There's no receivers here that I feel like I really want to make sure we get. So yeah, I definitely like taking Ford here.
We have the Brett Whitefield stamp of approval on Jerome Ford. He can play a bit. And he said Ford was a 5th round pick. Thanks for clearing that up.
Was he?
Yeah.
I sworn he went undrafted.
Hey, if Brett says it,
You're
would
thinking
know.
of
and it's so.
I think you're doing the same thing I was doing. You're thinking of the Steelers guy.
Warren?
Yeah,
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of.
I was doing the exact same thing. So Jerome Ford was kind of nice on kick returns last year.
Mm-hmm. It's got some juice. All right, coming back around here. So we got 2 rookies on the board with Rashee Rice and Cedric Tillman. There's some other ones later, farther down.
I mean, Ronald Jones in the Zeke role? Huh?
No.
Like, I'm never doing that.
Can you just click on wide receiver?
McKenzie on the full-time slot guy for Indianapolis, possibly. Braxton Berrios in Miami.
Braxton Berrios, I can get on board with that. Hell yeah.
No Chenault? Like, it's his time. It's his time.
Did they bring anybody else in Miami, or was it just him and Sherfield left?
I think it's just him. Also, Jasicki's gone.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what they have behind him off the top of my head.
Is Mims still here?
Oh, here we go with Brett's.
We have a
snack take.
ground earth shattering question. I have my answer as a power lift enthusiast. Better snack, peanut butter or beef jerky?
It's peanut butter because it's way more versatile. You can do anything with it.
Okay.
You ever have a peanut butter and beef jerky sandwich?
Oh no.
It's
Although
delicious. Don't knock it till you try it.
My weightlifting coach does scoop peanut butter with beef jerky. So not on a sandwich, but he has done it before when we were on tour. It looked gross, but he was huge, so it must have worked. So many good rookie wide receivers left.
There's really not. Brett just
cow.
likes a whole bunch of old
Brett, give
ass
us some
wide
right now.
receivers.
Let's get it on air.
Oh, Tyler Scott, he's all right.
What about Jaden Reed?
Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I mean he's better.
Zachary's
He's better than
improved.
Sky Moore.
Okay, let's. All right.
Yeah, Western Michigan
I
transfers.
tried to
to
tell you
Michigan
and your
State.
boy that last year.
You know what, Scott? We don't got to bring it up, okay? I'm reeling right now.
No, I'm
in
actually
pain.
still a little optimistic on Sky Moore.
I mean, they do talk him up a lot. I mean, it's hard.
Oh,
not to.
Justin Ross. I would be hella excited to draft.
Why? We could just take any rookie wide receiver with similar upside.
Incomparable upside. Hell no.
How? What if it's a Chiefs
Justin
draft
Ross is a
any of
better
them?
prospect to any of them by far. He's in a way better landing spot.
Well, that's when we don't know the landing spot of these guys yet. Any of these could be
Yeah,
drafted
who
by.
cares?
The
Yeah,
Chiefs.
it's not going to be. It's 1 out of 32 odds. It's Kansas City.
I like this. Pick.
I'd say there's less odds than Justin Ross playing a snap this year than 1 in 32.
Doesn't matter. Listen, we need the upside. It's a last round pick. There's no downside. Like you said, late round picks typically do not contribute spike weeks. So why not get the guy who, if he does blow up, is spike weeks every week? I'll put my name back on this team if you give me Justin Ross.
Oh my god, I'm clipping that. By the way,
You're gonna clip it, and then you're gonna
clipped
play it a
forever.
year from now, and you're gonna be like, Scott is a clairvoyant.
Oh my god,
Mechie's gone. I don't know.
Mr. Scampers is asking about Mechie.
I don't know if he plays this year. That's the problem. Otherwise, he's a great pick.
You're not sure if Mechie plays, but you're 100% confident that Justin Ross is going to break out.
I mean, there's a difference between cancer and an ankle surgery. Like, I'm watching videos of Justin Ross cutting, and like, what's the competition? It's Kadarius Toney, who can't stay healthy, Sky Moore, who isn't good.
Wait, were you
that white
already
guy who isn't good?
Were you already watching Justin Ross highlight clips when you brought him up, or you just now are watching?
I wake up every morning and I watch them.
Oh
It's my
my
morning
God.
routine. Give me a name you're more excited about.
There's no upside to a guy.
Tyler Scott, Jaden Reed, A.T. Perry.
Yeah, none of these guys averaged 4 yards per route run as a rookie playing alongside T. Higgins.
Oh my goodness.
A freshman, not a rookie. My bad.
The names here are just so
Somebody,
absolutely
please,
disgusting.
somebody else out there draft Justin Ross before we get here.
Nope.
Is it going to happen? Omega, are you before us? Oh, you
No,
already
he
took
already
Vaughn.
took
I mean, this is just
Imagine taking the 165-pound running back over Justin Ross.
Oh my gosh. Was it the undrafted wide receiver with one leg because of chronic injury problems?
Guys, keep it coming. Keep it coming. When Justin Ross is like the belle of the ball, gets all the hype in off-season training camp. I'm going to play this back for you guys. That's cold-blooded.
That's what I'm here for.
Come on, Mac
Scott
Hollins
claims
over
to hate
Justin
contested catch guys, but has been losing his mind over Justin Ross for 2 off seasons.
I mean,
All right, we're up.
Justin Ross, let's go. What are we doing? Why isn't
we
that clicked
didn't
already? Click it.
Oh.
Click it. Do it. Yes.
I'm so sorry, Chris.
I mean, you took Cleveland RB2 with round 5 draft capital. They're probably going to add someone. Right now, he is maybe the second most talented wide receiver on the Chiefs.
Oh
healthy.
my god.
Huge if, but that's the same if for Kadarius Toney, who, by the way, I want
Michael
on every
Thomas
single team.
and Justin Ross on the same team.
Okay, so that scratches two
think
wide
about it
receivers.
this way. That was our wide receiver 10. Like, what are the odds of wide receiver 10s doing anything?
I know,
Yeah, I
Omega, I'm trying.
Like, what are the odds Jaden
I'm
Reed
trying.
cracks
Yeah, we
a
probably actually should have taken another running back with that logic. We probably didn't need the 10th wide.
You're right. The draft's over. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's take another look at it.
So
Okay, let's have a look.
So 3 mid quarterbacks.
yeah, Daniel Jones, Geno
Yeah,
Smith.
those are 2
Tannehill.
QB1s, Scott. All right,
That's
from
right.
last season.
McCaffrey, Henry, P. Ryan, Elliott, and Jerome Ford at running back. DK, Keenan Allen, Lockett.
New rule. You can't trash anyone's last round pick. That's just
No, you're not wrong, but we probably should have taken a running back over the 10th wide receiver.
I did.
all right. You
suggest
tell me
James
what
Robinson.
running back.
Chase Brown.
Wait, was James Robinson there?
Yeah,
Yes.
James
Oh,
Robinson.
he would have been a great pick.
Oh my god.
He would have been awesome. Yeah, that was my vote. My vote was for James Robinson.
Oh god. What pick did Kelce go? Brett asked.
It's too late because he should be 101.
He ended up going 7th.
Wow, that's great value.
Yeah, shout out that pick. That was a great pick. So, as we ask every week, favorite pick of the draft.
I really liked the just kind of not a singular pick. I actually really liked the Giant stack that we built. I mean, we're high on Daboll and what he did last year. We really just need their defense is still going to be pretty bad. Like, they're going to have to score points if they want any shot to be good. Like, I think there's a good amount of points that we could get from this offense as a whole.
That's fair. Scott,
What was that? I was checking email.
favorite pick of the draft. We almost made
definitely-
it.
I mean, why are you even asking me? It was Justin Ross last round. Let's go.
Absolutely unbelievable.
James Robinson would have given us like 4 startable weeks, but Justin Ross is going to be our highest scoring wide receiver. He's giving us those Justin Jefferson points at around 20 ADP.
Oh my gosh.
What round did Kenny Pickett go?
3 picks after we took Tannehill.
Oh wow.
Can you scroll up? I wanna
Tannehill
see,
value.
Team 12's draft. Yeah, they just went all running back, wide receiver, and then all QB tight end.
Brett says Scott tuning out midstream.
It's not midstream, it's the end of stream.
Nah. Hey,
You always
to be
do this.
fair-
You ask me my favorite pick. It's, I don't know, it's every pick I made. They were all perfect.
Oh my god. Just the objectivity here is just outstanding. Well, that's fantastic, phenomenal. We're gonna take a quick second. When we come back, we're gonna get some final thoughts and get out of here so you all can enjoy the rest of your evening. Sit tight. Things out.
All
We
it's
got
better
it,
You
though.
hit the wrong button than Chris hits the wrong button. Like he accidentally takes James Robinson instead of Justin Ross.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for the Justin Ross discourse for the entire offseason now. It's just too fantastic. Final thoughts before we get out of here today. We'll start with you, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That was great. I was checking my email again.
Oh my.
Amateur hour. I mean, you signed us off like 10 minutes ago, I thought.
No, my favorite pick was jalapenos on my cheesesteak. I mean, that's pretty good. Brett agrees. Goated. Scampers, thanks, guys. Thank you as well. Chris, your final thoughts before we get out of here.
We'll see what we'll be drafting next week. I think I've heard rumblings that we could be getting Superflex tournaments on Underdog. That would be interesting. Imagine what Kenny Pickett's value is in a Superflex draft.
Oh my God, Scott's going to be asking to take him in the 5th round. I can see it now. It's definitely going to happen. Look, my final thoughts are the same. I love doing this show. It's absolutely fantastic. We love the opportunity to be bringing you different kind of content over there at Fantasy Points. Be tuned in. Hit the sub button if you liked what you've seen, liked what you heard. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a show. And everyone, please enjoy the rest of your evening. We're out of here. Good night, everyone.